Hi guys, how are you? My name is Kavalur Singh Hundal and I scored a 99.51 in CAT. And yesterday, that is 17th of March, was my IIM Mumbai interview for which I appeared at Centaur Hotel, New Delhi, 9:30 to 11 a.m. slot. So basically in this interview, in this video, I'm going to discuss about how was my interview experience and what were the type of questions that were asked to me and what you can expect from the IIM Mumbai interview based on what happened with me. So overall, the experience I would say was good, and I think it's one of my better interviews. I also gave an interview for I'm Koikod, I'm CAP, and Auxiliary HRM. Apart from that, I didn't get any call from any other IAM. So let's get started. So coming to the panelists, there were actually two panelists. The one was female and the other one was a male. Both were from their late 30s to their mid 40s. So when I started and I entered the room, they asked me to sit. I sat and then I was asked my name for their verification purposes. And then the first question that the male panelist asked me was that you have applied for both MBA and MBA SM. Are you confused or are you not confident enough of getting into MBA? So my answer to that was I want to open as many opportunities and doors for me as possible. So again his question was कि नहीं कि आपका तो मतलब you're not confident. तो मैंने फिर वही आंसर दिया कि आई थिंक एस एम इज़ ऑल्सो गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी, इसके अंदर आई विल ओपन मोर डोर्स एंड इट विल बी गुड फॉर माई करियर. ऐसा आंसर दिया. आई वॉजेंट एबल टू गिव देम द परफेक्ट आंसर बिकॉज it didn't strike my mind, neither it was prepared for me beforehand. After that, he asked me one question: how often do you change your mind? I said that I sometimes change my mind, but it's not very often. He didn't dwell into that anymore. And then the first question that he asked after looking at his laptop was about e-commerce. I don't know whether he saw my profile that I am a BCA or something like that. The first question was e-commerce. Tell me about e-commerce. How do you place an order? Have you placed an order? I told him that I have made many purchases, for example, my mobile phone, and walked through the whole process of buying a phone. First, you make an account on an e-commerce platform such as Amazon or Flipkart. After that, you find your product, add it to your cart or buy now. Then you add the details and make the payment. After that, you will be able to make the um, order. And after that, he asked me what is the process after you make the payment and how is the order confirmed. Maybe he was asking about how the order is sent from the logistical side, but I answered him that once the payment is received by the company, the bank gives a confirmation, and then after the order is confirmed. Then he asked me about no how does it come to your house. I answered that once the order is made, the order is shipped to the nearest hub, which in my case is the Amritsar hub, and then a delivery person is assigned and that agent delivers it to my house. The next question he asked me was the difference between first mile and last mile connectivity and delivery. I answered him that I know about last mile delivery, that it is delivery that happens to your doorstep. I'm not aware about the first mile delivery. Apart from that, just wait a second. Yes, as I talked about UPI in the payments, that you can make payments either through prepaid or postpaid mode. For example, cash on delivery or prepaid through credit cards, debit cards, and UPI. The female panelist sitting on the left side asked me what is UPI. I answered that it's in a interface for sending money from one account to another. Then she asked a follow-up question that which countries are using UPI, UPI international हो रहा है, and I answered that it's working in Singapore, Mauritius and Dubai. So another question that how is the payment settlement done in the international payments? I answered it's done in the Indian rupees. I'm not sure whether it's really done in the Indian rupees, but I gave them the answer, and it helps us to save our forex and it helps her to make her currency stronger. And then she asked how it makes the currency stronger. I said that it makes the currency global. It helps us to save our forex as we import many things such as crude oil and weapons. It will help us. Then she asked me, uh, give one example of when India exported any weapon. I answered that India recently exported BrahMos missile to Philippines, and Indonesia is also trying to buy it from us. So after that, she asked me what is BrahMos. I answered it is hypersonic missile. Uh, well, it's actually supersonic. I realized that after the interview, and and answered that it is developed jointly by India and Russia. So she asked the next question was what is hypersonic. I answered it is faster than sound, but she was like, what times faster than the sound. I was not sure, so I didn't answer. And the other question was, what is the unit of measuring the speed of sound? I answered that question that it's Mach 1, Mach 2, and Mach 3, and so on. So basically, what they were doing, that they were giving questions based on what you're saying. I answered UPI, I answered BrahMos, I answered hypersonic. Then they're going to ask you that question. What's there? Like, जो भी आप बोलें, be sure that you will be able to speak to some extent on that. उसके बाद में वो हो गया मैक वन मैक टू. तो उसके बाद शी आस्क मी व्हाट आर टैरिफ्स एंड व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन इन टैरिफ्स, हैव यू रेड इट? So I gave the answer that USA is imposing reciprocative taxes, tariffs on the other countries. It has done on Mexico, Canada, and China. So this and that. After that, she asked me the difference between the tariffs and subsidies. वो भी मैंने आंसर दे दिया according to my knowledge कि tariffs जो होते हैं वो चीज़ों को महंगा कर देते हैं, सब्सिडी दी जाती हैं to decrease the cost. And after that, she asked me the difference between tax and tariffs. According to my knowledge, I gave the answer that tariff is a type of tax. उसके बाद में she asked me, are you aware of something that happened with the tax in the recent budget? So I didn't give them the perfect answer that I knew, but I gave them the answer that the budget slabs have been changed. The tax slabs have been changed, and I was going to give them the answer, but they cut off me right there. And she asked me, in which tax slab do you want to be? I answered that I want to be in the highest tax slab because I want to earn more, and moreover, being in the highest tax slab, I will be making more contributions towards the development of this country, and that is a good thing. And so basically what was happening until right now, that they were asking questions in quick succession. One question, two question, three question. One thing I really liked about the interview, that they didn't go deep on any topic. They didn't cling to any one mistake that I made. They were like, okay, if a person has made one mistake, he might answer the next question. Or maybe they weren't asked, they were not finding those mistakes in my answers. Who know, God knows what was happening over there. Because what happened in my I Am Koi Code interview, they just picked one thing and wasted about 10 minutes in my whole interview on that. And that was delimitation. So after that, the male panelist asked me the difference between Gen AI and AI. I explained to my knowledge that AI is a broad term, Gen AI is a subset of it, and he asked me give them their examples. I gave the example ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Llama, and for AI, I wasn't sure, so I gave the answer of Siri and Google Assistant to them. So after that, he asked me, were you part of any student union or body in your university? I asked my university name 2 or 3 times during the interview. Maybe he wasn't aware of my university. So I answered that student unions are not allowed in Punjab for the past 30 years or so. So I was not part of any student union. And coming to student bodies, I wasn't part of any student body, but I helped doing some stuff in my department, and I participated in short film competition. I put that short film competition in it to expect some questions from it, but they didn't ask any questions from it. because I wanted it to come up in the interview. So he asked me whether student body should be allowed in IIM Mumbai or not. It is a good thing or not. So I gave him um, uh, political answer that student unions can also help raise the demands of the students. However, it can bring politics into the campus and that can be bad. And he cut me off and said, answer me whether should be student unions allowed in IIM Mumbai, yes or no. And for that, I gave the answer no. And he was like, okay. After that, I don't know whether the answer was right or wrong, but I uh, gave the answer with my honesty because I don't believe that student unions are of any necessity in a B school with just a 2-year postgraduate program, which takes a lot of fees. So that was honesty on my part. So after that, he asked me, "Did you live in hostel or your home?" I answered in my home. And after that, he asked me whether the students should be having any time to come back into the hostel or the campus, or they should be allowed outside. To that question, I gave the answer that there should be a time limit. He asked me whether you were outside for some time. I answered that there should be a time limit of 7 or 8 p.m. Of coming back into the campus for the students. But if they have some solid proof of any event or something activity they have to be part outside the campus, they should be allowed. But otherwise, there should be a strict timing for the safety of the students. And this is something that I believe is necessary, and it is. I don't think so that students should be outside for the whole night without any purpose. So he asked me whether you were outside for the from the campus and whether you went out with friends and by what time did you come back. So I gave him the answer that yes, we used to go for some outings, but mostly we were back by 6:30 or 7 p.m. and that was um, uh, the latest we got, and it is somewhat correct. We didn't I didn't go for any outings for later night outings, and I didn't uh, like that stuff either. So after that, maybe one or two more questions related to this. And somewhere in the starting of the interview, the male panelist asked me whether I was working or had an experience, and I answered to him, "No, sir, I do not have any experience. I'm a fresher." So these are the questions that I got in my interview. I I I maybe missed one or two questions, but I tried to remember and muster all the questions that I got. Apart from that, I believe that the interview went really well because I believe that the questions they asked me, hypersonic, BrahMos, tax, I was able to give answer to them. Maybe they weren't expecting me to give those answers, or maybe they were, but I believe the interview was really good. They didn't ask me any questions relating to the undergraduate degree project, and in the Mumbai form, I didn't write anything related to my internship because I didn't have one. I didn't try to put in any online internship because of the questions that it may arise in the interview. So no questions from my form or academics or my city or HR questions, and that is something like one other question. He asked me the difference between sales and marketing. I was able to give that answer, 3 points, that sales is one to one, marketing is one to many. Sales is a push type activity, this marketing is a pull type, and sales is a short term and marketing is a long term. And after that, he also asked me, what is consulting, what do consultants do. I asked him, I answered that sometimes the companies do not have the in-house capabilities of tackling all the problems, so they go to a consulting company and take their expertise from them, and those consultants bring their expertise and try to solve that problem and give the right strategy to the company. And he asked me give the names of any five consulting firms. I gave the answer. I didn't give the McKinsey, BCG, Bain in the start. I tried to give some other companies to not to sound very kind of cliche. So the first one was Deloitte, because I wanted to sound like not cliche. I'm like little bit down to earth. I don't know. and the second one was Accenture. And after that, I didn't want to give the big four, EY and others. So I don't know where the answer came from. I gave the answer McKinsey, BCG, and Bain. And maybe one or two more questions more were asked to me, but this was the whole interview process. All over, I liked the interview. The document verification process was nothing but a fluke. They just had all the photocopies collected, stapled it, and stamped it. They didn't even check whether you have any work experience, do not have any work experience. They might do it after the admission, but they just stamped it and basically gave it back to us. So that's what happened over there. Apart from it, the interview was really good. I hope that the interviews go really well for all of you. I am Mumbai interview. I will be following up with many more videos regarding what's my profile, because I've got some offers from the New India Assurance Company Limited as an administrative officer, and I am positive on clearing IBPS PO as well. So I will be sharing what are my future goals and future endeavors that I take, and I will be also helping with CAT preparation, the interview preparation, or overall things that I think I know or maybe knowing. So take care and all the best for your interviews. Overall, IIM Mumbai seems to be a really good place to be, and the interview went really well. Thank you. All the best.